Think about the device you're holding right now. If you crack open a smartphone, a TV remote, or dig into the guts of an old desktop computer, you will find the exact same beating heart, a printed circuit board. And almost every single time that you see one, without fail, it is covered in that familiar shade of green. But why green? Out of the entire color spectrum, why not a matte black, a bright red, or a neon blue? That green hue is a rigid industrial standard, surviving decades of intense engineering and manufacturing constraints. To understand this, we first have to strip the color away. If you look closely at the interior of this vintage TV receiver, the raw fiberglass and epoxy that make up those early circuit boards actually have a dull brown or grayish-white tint. As you can see, those boards are layered with hundreds of incredibly fragile copper pathways. If a stray drop of liquid solder or a spike in humidity connects the wrong two paths, it creates an immediate short circuit and fries the entire device. To protect those lines, manufacturers bake a microscopic suit of armor over the top. It's a liquid photoable resin called a solder mask, designed to cover the delicate wiring, while leaving only the tiny metal connection pads exposed. We have the chemical ability to dye that liquid armor any color we want. To figure out why they chose green, we have to trace this protective layer back to the extreme demands of the mid-28th century. During the Cold War, the United States military was the biggest buyer driving the early electronics industry. They fielded equipment in jungles, deserts, and the upper atmosphere, demanding components that absolutely would not degrade or fail under extreme temperature and humidity. The early protective resins they used naturally possessed a muddy, greenish-brown tint. But as they rigorously tested different pigments, they discovered that one highly specific dyed shade of green survived those harsh environmental constraints better than any other mixture. Because the military ordered these boards by the millions, factories across the country standardized their assembly lines. With the machines permanently calibrated for green resin, it became the cheapest, most readily available baseline for everyday civilian electronics. Long before lasers, every single one of those millions of circuit boards had to be visually inspected by human beings. A factory worker would sit for hours under harsh fluorescent lights, scanning hundreds of tiny reflective metal solder joints for errors. The intense focus required to find a millimeter-wide mistake caused massive eye strain. Scientists identified the human eye as most sensitive to the green light spectrum, making it relaxing to process. Moving off the chart, this green background creates visual relief, making silver solder and white text stand out cleanly. Locking in that color optimized the biological limits of the human workforce and reduced manufacturing errors across the industry. Today, automated cameras and lasers handle those rapid factory inspections, and some high-end consumer tech does utilize sleek black or blue boards. Yet green remains the standard because decades of continuous mass production have allowed the chemical formula for green solder mask to be highly refined. Notice the spacing on this microscopic cross-section. The green resin cures faster and hardens with higher fidelity than alternatives, allowing factory to achieve gaps between components as small as 0.1 millimeters, while others leave a bleeding edge. Pushing for a red or blue solder mask at that microscopic scale invites a higher failure rate. Green is the standard because it minimizes production costs while maintaining high manufacturing yields. When we zoom out from the chemical cross-sections and look at the circuit board now, we see more than a background for chips and wires. It is the survivor of a multi-decade competition between cost, chemistry, and military history. The green board stands as a perfectly optimized object forged by the intersection of three different scientific disciplines. The next time you see a piece of electronics cracked open, you are looking at a physical intersection of Cold War history, human biology, and chemical precision.